Speaking of fusion, instead of funding nuclear fusion, which is always 15 years away, we should fund Dragon Ball fusion power. Yeah. One of these days, fusion is going to be a thing, and we are entering a new era. I still do believe that. I am a believer. There is absolutely no reason why that can't happen. There's no reason at all to believe that it's always going to be. This isn't like cold fusion or some bullshit like science fiction, whatever. This is just like straightforwardly, we know it works, we know how it works. We just need we just need to work out the deets, you know? And we're getting there. Fusion might never happen. It's already happened. We just have to make it more efficient. There's no hope of fusion. Fission is already hopelessly unprofitable. Fusion will only be more complicated. What are you talking about? Fission is a nuclear power plant, which are very profitable. We already have fission power plants. We've had them for decades. And we've already made fusion happen. We've made fusion happen. We've done it. We've generated power using a sustained beam of atoms that make a fusion reaction. Oh, I'm an idiot. I thought you were saying Dragon Ball fusion would have inevitably happened in real life. What are you talking about? Shut up. God. I believe in the future where we have fusion powered ship. It's cool to have a fission powered ship. You know that a nuclear ship is basically like a solved technical problem, right? Like if you've got a ship and it has a small fission plant on it, that it can just run forever. Like forever, you know? It's crazy. No exhaust, no, I mean, not no exhaust, right? But like it's effectively like it's a perfect technology. The only issue is that we don't want to put fission reactors in all of our big shipping, like, you know, our massive ships, because they're worried about like pirates taking it or them getting sunk or whatever. So we only use them for submarines and aircraft carriers and stuff that have lots of people with guns on them, basically. You know, the current rule basically is you can put a fission reactor on a ship, but only if the ship will also have 100 guys with guns on it. Or in the case of an aircraft carrier, thousands of guys with guns on it. Hey, do sailors on aircraft carriers, or I guess sailors in general, do they carry a gun around? There's no way, right? You're not like an army guy. You're not on the front line. Like, you're not just running around like with a pistol on you. Like, just for no reason, are you? It depends. I imagine it depends. It just feels like it'd be silly to me. Like you've got an aircraft carrier so large, you've got thousands of people on it running around keeping the ship operational, and they just have a pistol on them in case of what? What the is going to happen? Like that would be like carrying a pistol on you. I can't even think of a situation where you're less likely to be attacked. You know? Yeah, I keep them in like armories, and you have MPs around or whatever, but. It's for sharks. It's for sharks. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. It's basically boat cops. Oh yeah, well there's like, I mean, guys on army bases aren't carrying their rifles all over the place, right? You've got MPs. You've got like the military police that are at the, you know, around the place, and then you've got the army guys who are over there licking toilets or whatever they do, you know? The Marines are using their foreheads to hammer in loose nails. The army guys are all scrubbing toilets with their tongues. You know, they're busy, and the MPs are just standing there with their guns. Woo! Boat cops are making sure sailors are not eating hydraulic grease. Yeah, you don't want like a Russia situation where everyone's drinking the fucking tank fuel. Past a point, having people run around with guns, like it's probably just increasing the likelihood of something bad happening, you know? Guarding the stash of crayons so no Marine gets more than their allotted fair share. That's true. Get like 6 MPs in front of every crayon depot at the base. What is the Space Force doing? I don't think they do shit, man. I don't know what they're doing right now. They're having fun. Seriously, fusion is toast. Fission is already far more expensive than solar plus batteries. Tanya, why are you talking about stuff you don't know anything about? Fusion's not toast at all. There are serious problems with solar energy that you can't. Are you getting paid by Big Solar? We don't do that here. Are you German? Have you been an aircraft carrier? I think I did one. Yeah, when I was younger, there was an aircraft carrier docked at a naval base. I don't remember where. It could have been in San Francisco. It could have been in Florida. I was a kid, but I remember going on it. And God, you do not appreciate how large those things are until you get on board one of them. Holy shit. It is genuinely insane that we're capable of building stuff like that, you know? What's bad about solar? There's nothing wrong with solar, but every type of energy generation has its own potential upsides and downsides. For example, big solar fields can only be built in some parts of the world. And also, once you build a solar field, you've kind of like built it. That's it, you know? So if you want to make any alterations to production of energy, you can't. You've already built the infrastructure, right? If it's nighttime, you need batteries stored from the day. Fusion can run 24/7, or however long they need without maintenance, and you wouldn't need to worry about batteries as much. You could even fluctuate the energy generation, right? You could have a fusion reactor that would generate more energy during peak hours and then lower energy generation during the night, and it'd be a lot more efficient than having just a flat out, like, during the day you get the energy, hopefully, if it's not cloudy, and then during the night you don't, you know? Fusion's just also very, 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 very stable, you know? Like a bunch of cloudy days, a rainstorm, you're not getting solar energy, man. You're getting nothing. But fusion will keep running no matter what. Like fission, right? That's the benefit of nuclear. It's very reliable. Is fusion nuclear? Yeah. Fusion and fission are both nuclear reactions. Fission is when you split the atom, and fusion is when you merge the atoms into a heavier one. I'm not like a science expert or anything. I'm just optimistic about the future of energy generation. That's it. That's it. I just like being happy about that, you know? Also, fission requires, you know, plutonium or uranium or whatever. You need fuel for it. Fusion requires basically no fuel. The only thing that you need for fuel for a fusion reaction is a stream of atoms fired via laser, but they can be pretty normal atoms, like potentially. I think there's like that helium-3 isotope thing that we really like at the moment, but like theoretically you can just use like, you know, iron. Nah, deuterium. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, deuterium. Yeah. But iron is too heavy. You get the point. I'm saying you don't need like a rare fusion theoretically. This guy said isotope. Yeah, well then you guys said deuterium. So we're all in the enriched skibidium territory, okay? My gay-ass skibbity chungus deuterium mine. Yeah, Masagui. I mean, I'm in favor of fission power plants. Yeah, Dr. Strange. Next segment, you can't tell me what to do. That's what independent media means. I'll show you what someone who isn't bought out by Russia looks like. My stream cadence is completely dictated by my autism. You have no power over me. Nothing. Not you, not my own bank account, not my topics list, not my editors, nothing. Only my autism. This is what true power looks like. This is what independence looks like, okay? I'm free in a way you could never imagine. Man, Vosh, I'm sorry, but nothing you just said is even generously true. It's so cool having, like, high self-esteem, so when people like you say stuff like that, I can know you're full of shit, instead of me thinking, like, oh, I wonder if the problem is me. It was. Maybe it's not hyper-specifically true, because I'm not literally a PhD nuclear scientist, but that doesn't matter to me, you know? People in chat love to know more than me, so anytime you say something that's 98% correct, which is correct enough for a discussion on nuclear fusion, people are going to be like, whoa, hold on there, moron. You're forgetting the 2%. Or more accurately, they're going to say, you're forgetting the 27%, because they're going to, like, misinterpret 25% of what I said, or they're going to pretend that I didn't say it at all, or they're going to just be wrong about it. And then they have to be like, well, I've one-upped you. See, you're not actually a PhD nuclear scientist. I mean, I'm not either, but I recently read an article that I'm going to paraphrase incorrectly to you. You can't get me. I see right through your damn game. I see right through it. Anyway, fusion's cool, is the main thing. You fire a laser at a block, and then somehow you make you make energy. It's great. No potential for a meltdown either. And then you build a giant robot around it? Yeah, sure. Steam power with extra steps? Oh, yeah, but that's life, you know? I mean, modern fission reactors are basically impossible to melt down. Yeah, I know, but it's more like you can't fuck up a fusion reaction to the point where, like, you could, like, oh, you know, the infrastructure is decayed, oh, people's standards have gotten more lax or whatever. Maybe fission could be an issue if people up, or, like, there's a big earthquake or something, right? Whereas with fusion, there's just no... Tanya, I don't know why you're so anti-fusion. To be honest with you, it's a little bit annoying. You keep harping on this. You were the one who said you were talking about Dragon Ball Fusion. I think that you weren't actually talking about Dragon Ball Fusion. I think that you're, wait, are you not the one who was talking about Dragon Ball Fusion? That was another person? Okay, that was another person. That was another person. You're very anti-fusion, and I just don't get it. I don't understand. That was Violise? Okay, different person, okay? You know, you pink dots all look the same to me. Yeah, chat's full of agents of big renewable. But you only need that one big breakthrough, Philomath. Vosh, because some people watch a different YouTuber confidently assert different things before they watched you confidently assert other things. You ever realize that most humans are Joe Rogan? Like, we make fun of Joe Rogan for just agreeing with the last confidently asserted opinion that he hears, but I think most people are like that. They'll watch a YouTuber who says, like, this is why everyone's wrong about hydroelectric. And it's like a 37-minute video where a guy explains one side of a very complicated story, and then at the end of it, there's a bunch of little minions running around being like, no, well, didn't you hear actually that it's over for hydroelectric? It's done. I in some cases I can see which videos you watched because they showed up on my feed too. And I feel like I might as well just argue with the damn YouTuber who made it. It's like the CGP Grey video on traffic. That's such a good example. CGP Grey made a few bad videos about like self-driving cars and traffic and stuff like that, and you could see who had just watched it or who was like basing their information on it, you know? That's a nice opinion. Did a YouTuber give it to you? Yeah. That video is so hopelessly car-brained, it's infuriating. Yeah, what if we made like every city just an endless web of space for robots to drive hyper inefficient vehicles with no potential path for pedestrians to cross or whatever? What if like all of the areas that used to be occupied by people walking were just taken up by the most inefficient possible way of, you know, doing motorized transport? You'd only agree with that video if you never took a bus in a city with good infrastructure. He lives in London. There are cities with more car-brained infrastructure than London. I don't know how he got to that, but he's kind of like a tech enthusiasm guy, you know? Let's watch it. No, I'm not going to watch like an 8-year-old CGP Grey video to argue with it. It's fine. I think, hasn't he like walked it back or something? Yeah, he's like changed his mind on it, you know? He wasn't living in London at the time. Ah. Oh.